2025 is going to be a season to remember, with 7 rookies joining the 2025 season. All right, fine. I'm not going to make those jokes. We've all heard them before. Alonso's not a rookie. It's his second year in Formula One. Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the early career of every rookie that is currently going to be participating in the 2025 season. I'm not going to be counting karting. They've all made it to Formula One. I think it's pretty safe to assume that their karting careers were pretty impressive. All of this will also come with my predictions as to whether I think they're going to beat their teammates and where they're going to potentially place in the final stages of the season. Before we get down to breaking down all these drivers and their records and predictions, I'm going to need you guys all to politely hit that subscribe button. First on the list, we're going to start this off with Liam Lawson, starting his single-seater career in 2015, becoming a junior driver for the Racing Bulls team. The thing that gives Liam Lawson the edge here is that he has already driven in a pretty good amount of races in Formula One already. He subbed in for Ricciardo and AlphaTauri in 2023 for 5 races, and then again in 2024, replacing Ricciardo altogether. A total of 11 races in Formula One, making him the most experienced rookie. Liam Lawson isn't generational talent, but he does have one thing that a lot of these rookies don't have, and that is a serious amount of experience that I can't express enough not to oversee when it comes to Liam Lawson. He has participated in every category that ever became available to him. In his first year in Formula 4, he finished an impressive 6th, runner-up in 2017 and 2018 Formula 4 as well. His Formula 3 wasn't as impressive, finishing 11th in 2019 and 5th in 2020 in the following year. What was impressive about his F3 career is the jump that we saw in how good he got. He went from 11th to 5th in just 1 year, showing how quick he was able to adapt to a new category. He also competed in the Toyota Racing Division from 2019 to 2020, winning the championship in 2019, runner-up in Super Formula, and winning the DTM. DTM is a GT3 category championship, showing his flexibility in the sport and what he's capable of. In 2021 and 2022, he participated in Formula 2. In 21, he placed 11th in the championship, and in 22, he placed 3rd. You cannot ignore how quickly he goes from being at the bottom to either the mid-top field or sometimes even the top field. And I think that with the medium experience that he has in Formula One machinery, and that's not even counting the amount of time that he's gotten to spend with the sims and with older specs of cars, do I think he's going to be Max? Absolutely not. I think P9 is realistic for Lawson. He has shown consistency in championships. He's been able to drive many categories of single-seaters. I don't want to say world champion one day, but I do believe that he has a chance to be a contender. And now moving on to Oliver Breman. He is a rookie that I think is gonna do the best out of all of them. Oliver Breman was born in 2005. Oh my God, I'm old. The young buck managed to secure himself a full-time season in Formula One with Haas in 2025. And I genuinely believe that the reason for that was because of what he pulled off in Jeddah when Carlos Sainz had to get his appendix removed. And the thing about Oliver Breman is that he may not have the championships under his belt, but if there's one thing or many things that he has is that he is very calm, cool, collected, nonchalant, mellow, and just pure confidence every time he gets behind any wheel. And I think we all saw that each time he subbed in 2024. I mean, scoring points with Ferrari and then with Haas. I'm not going to count Brazil because everybody almost fucking died in that race. He participated in 4 F4 championships between 2020 and 21. What was impressive is that he got 7th and 10th his first 2 championships, and then he proceeded to completely obliterate the competition by winning back-to-back F4 championships. And really the only time that we haven't seen him perform the way we expect him to is his international championships. He plays 14th GB3 championship and 15th in the Asian Formula Regional Championship. However, his last F3 championships, he managed to get a respectable 3rd. And his F2 career is what's crazy and really the whole reason why he even managed to get a seat. He had a decent first year in F2, placing 6th, but then came his second year where things became interesting because at this point he's a reserve driver for Ferrari. He subbed in for a total of 3 races that year, 1 at Ferrari, 2 at Haas. The first 2 races made everyone look at Oliver Breman, myself included. But he also became the first driver to ever score points with 2 teams on their first race. The kid's already breaking world records. If there's a team that's willing to take the chance on Oliver Breman, I think that team could win a championship with Oliver Breman. But what I really want you guys to take away from this, when you look at the fact that F2 drivers don't get to spend enough time in Formula One cars to then see Oliver Breman come into Formula One, score with Ferrari, score with Haas, give Ollie the right team and the right people and the right car, you got yourself a future champion. So now the prediction as to whether he's gonna perform better than Esteban or not, I'm putting my money on Oliver Breman. As far as the driver's placement, P13, I'm gonna put him at a solid midfield driver. And so now moving on to Jack Doohan. Starting his single-seater career in 2018 and a reserve driver for Alpine, Jack had one run at Formula 4, placing an impressive second place. Then from that, moving on to Formula Renault, placing a weird 11th on his first season in 2019. Then placing third in his second run at Formula Renault in 2020, and second place at his first FIA Formula 3 in 2021. So far, he's showing really good consistency here. Then F2 in 2022, placing sixth. I mean, come on, these are really good numbers. They're nothing crazy to you know, get hyped about, but they're solid numbers. On paper, Jack is a really good driver. He's reliable, he's consistent. The big rumor surrounding him is that his contract only covers 5 races. Now, I don't know how true that is, because if I'm not mistaken, and correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong here, but that wasn't announced until after Colapinto had been announced as a reserve driver now, and the team principal did say that Jack would get a fair crack. I think a fair crack would be letting him finish the season, or at least give him half of the season. I don't think 5 races is enough to get to know a driver enough to decide whether he's going to be good or bad for the team. Unless he crashes out on all 5 races, then I do hope that Alpine don't pull this rug from underneath Jack. Now, being partnered with Pierre Gasly for the 2025 season, I don't think Jack is going to do better than him. I think Pierre Gasly is a really good driver, and I think a lot of people underestimate him in that sense. I think a realistic placement for Jack would be somewhere like P16, assuming he finishes his full season. And also, we're going to have to wait to see what Alpine bring to the table. And now moving on to your 2024 F2 champion, Gabriel Bortoletto. The man from Brazil, starting his single-seater career in 2020 and a junior driver for McLaren. Got 1 go at Formula 4 in the Italian Formula 4 Championship, placing a respectable 6th. Then 2 Formula Regional Championships, Asian and European, placing 6th in the European and 3rd in the Asian. So far, he's showing a lot of consistency in his progress. And F3 really is when he starts coming into his own, and why he became such a hot topic for the Formula 1 paddock. Winning the FIA F3 championship that year, he pretty much smoked the rest of the grid. 6 podiums, 2 wins, and a 45-point lead to win the championship got people looking his way. Then an F2 rookie year, which, by the way, F2 is so heavily slept on. Not enough people watch it. The racing is really close. There's something happening every lap. So his start was not good at all. And up to this point, it seemed like everything he had worked for was just literally crumbling in front of his very own eyes. Until he pulled the luckiest car from the deck. I mean, this kid pulled the 0 to hero card. That's what put him on the map. Teams all of a sudden saw what he was capable of. He had just won the Formula 3 championship. A 0 to hero in Formula 1, Formula 2, or even Formula 3, I would consider to be very impressive. And so he ends up landing a seat with Sauber for the 25 season and then Audi for the 26 season. Fernando Alonso said the reason why he pushed him to go for Sauber was because of the fact that that team plays horrendously in 2024. So the expectation that he's going to have is really not that high. This first year for him is going to be crucial to get really familiar with the sport and learn how it operates. And I think him being put in a team with no expectations does give him a little bit of an edge over the rest of the competition, because the rest of the competition are expected to perform. As far as the head-to-head between him and Nico Hülkenberg, I don't know how he does it. I miss Ricardo. I think it's going to be a very close battle between the two of them, but I do think that Nico is going to come out on top, just not by much. And as far as his placement in the Drivers' Championship, can't put him anywhere above P19, P20, only because of the car. I hope I'm wrong, because I would love to see another Brazilian driver just completely go into the sport and dominate. And our next rookie, Isack Hadjar. Beginning single-seater career in 2019 and a junior driver for, was he Red Bull or Racing Bulls? I think he was a junior driver for Red Bull. He had a pretty strong career going into his Formula 1 season, and it was the last 2 Formula 2 years that were really a very important part in his Formula 1 career. Placing 3rd in the French F4 Championship, securing a win at Spa, then taking that momentum to a Formula Regional Championship in Europe, finishing a strong 5th, leading to his F3 career with several wins and podiums, placing a respectable 3rd. To have a disappointing 14th in his rookie season in F2. Now, everything everything was going his way up until F2, or at least up until his rookie year in F2. When you've seen him perform the way he has performed, there was certain expectation levels that he didn't necessarily meet. And so his second year in F2 really was his do or die moment, just when everything seemed like it was falling into place, cars were flipped, and his counterpart Bortoleto and their team just found the answer that they were looking for. And for the rest of the year, it turned into Hadjar versus Bortoleto, and it came down to the last race. Hadjar's car stalled at the beginning of the race, essentially handing the championship to Bortoleto, and that was tough for him after having such a rough year in Formula 2 for his rookie year and almost winning the championship the following year. Between Yuki and him, I'm gonna have to give it to Yuki. Hadjar reminds me of a young Yuki. Even he said it, there's times where he loses his cool on the mic and whatnot, and so I think that that initial hump is what's gonna hurt him the most. So the faster he gets over that hump, the better he's gonna continue to do. And as far as his placement in the Drivers' Championship, I'm gonna say P15. I think that P15 is solid. Last but not least, the golden child of Toto Wolff. I thought that Toto Wolff was just overambitious and a little risky to sign somebody like Kimi right into the Mercedes seat, but I'm a changed man now. Starting his single-seater career in 2021, he participated in the Italian F4 Championship, placing 4th overall. And so after he did the first Italian F4 Championship, he did another one, which he then won. Then moving on to the Isack F4 Championship, which he won, then 2 regional championships, one in Europe, which he won, and then one in the Middle East, which he also won. Skipping F3 altogether, going into his rookie season of F2, and Prema fucked up. Prema had the top team for like 6 years in a row up to this point, and the 1 year that Kimi joins is the year that the regulations changed for Formula 2, and Prema just couldn't provide the car that he would have needed in order to win that. Knowing that 2025 is going to be the season for Kimi Antonelli to get used to the team, get used to the routine, coming into 2026, he could potentially be a contender. And he's the only other driver that I think has the potential to be a future champion, along with Bearman. Now, when you take all of that into consideration, out of 7 championships, he won 5. Like, what the f? All I can say now is that I see the hype behind Kimi. I think he really will be an exceptional driver in the future. Want to realistically say top 10 for him as well, along with Liam Lawson. So just to be on the safe side of things, I'm going to give him P10. I think that's good. That's solid. I think P9 would still be too much for him. When you look at what we have prepared for 2025 as far as rookies go, I don't think anyone's predictions are necessarily going to be right, but I think a lot of them are going to have at least 1 or 2 things that are going to make them go, I did not see this coming. I never would have expected it, and I don't know why it happened. And that's just the reality of how, Formula 1 is. So that's your roundup for the 2025 season. As you can see, these drivers are full of talent, they're full of ambition, and I think that they're going to make the 2025 season 100% unforgettable. Who do you think is going to shine the brightest though? I want to know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Formula 1 content. And until the next one, box. It's lights out, and I have to go to work now.